When it comes to residential property investing, you're probably already aware that HMOs can produce the highest amount of monthly return. And that's why so many people are interested in using HMOs as a core profit strategy. However, the challenge is there are just so many things that you need to consider in order to get the HMO right. So for example, getting the location right, the type of tenants you're going to have, how to configure the property for the best possible returns, how much money you're going to spend on it, and most importantly, how are you going to get that valuation right in order to make those numbers work. In this video, what I want to do is share with you 2 projects that we're currently doing right now, talk you through the steps and share with you our 49-step checklist so you can follow it step by step and see exactly what we do in our properties. Hi, my name is Saj and Aidas. I've been doing HMOs for about 15 years now. We have about 500 plus rooms across the Birmingham area, and I'm here with my business partner, Aidas, and we want to share with you what we're doing in this particular property.
Yep. So this house here is actually based in the West Midlands. It started life off as a 3-bedroom terrace family house, and we're converting it now into a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom professional house here. We're on the first floor over here. We're going to have 2 good-sized rooms, and on the ground floor, we have a slightly smaller space where we're going to have the 2 rooms share 1 bathroom there. But as you can see, it's going back to brick, our standard kind of renovation process. So we have taken the chimneys out, the ceilings have been dropped, planning approval has been in place now for an L-shaped loft conversion, which is going to add another 40 square meters in terms of internal space of this building. So we're adding quite a bit of extra volume here. Everything's going to be brand new, from plumbing, central heating, all throughout.
Yeah, so we're creating a brand new house. We strip it back to brick and then we recreate it. We'll go upstairs and have a look at the loft conversion space that we're doing at the moment. So in this particular property, we've got 1 bathroom between 2 people we're doing because the house is a little bit tighter. Our preference is in the type of tenant demographic that we aim for is professionals, graduates. They're on reasonable salaries and they want a nicer space, so we get a really nice finish for them. But a lot of that work happens before we even get on site, the design and the planning.
And I think that's the checklist you have mentioned is also something we kind of, all our projects follow through that. So it's from what you do when you have an offer accepted, what steps you've got to plan out before you pick up the keys, and we start on the layouts, the finishes, the schedule of works, looking who's going to be doing the works, etc., as an appointing the contractor. And the key thing here also is, just maximizing the space, the layouts, etc. So we take the time before the works physically start to plan that out.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the work is done in the planning. So let's go upstairs and have a look at what we're doing in the loft space over there.
Come on through.
One of the ways to make these projects work from a financial point of view is to ensure that we're achieving the best possible rents once this property is finished. And the way we do that is not only the maximum number of rooms, it's really more about creating a quality workspace which is well thought out, well laid out, and it's spacious as well. And that's what really drives the high rent.
Yeah. In most of our projects, what we'll do is we'll take the chimneys out, we'll maximize the space. But one thing to consider is when you are going to be removing the chimneys, you got to plan that a bit in advance. There's party wall agreements that have to be in place. We're going to have your structural engineer come and obviously calculate how you're going to support those chimneys. And there's different ways of doing that. In this particular project, we have used gallows brackets, concrete lintels to support the chimneys. But you've got to get these things, again, organized in advance. And that's one of the things we actually follow through the checklist as well, because that's one thing, a step you start very early on the process, because not having the party wall agreement sorted out could delay you quite significantly if you kind of leave that a bit later on. Same as even with utilities and all that kind of stuff as things you want to start.
Yeah, like I heard the electrics, how much power that we need in the property, the water supply, the pressure of that. Just all these things need to be thought out early in advance, because and as an afterthought, we see this with many other people when they're doing this, because we mentor and train a lot of people through training courses and mentorships as well. When we see people mess up on deals that have come to us, it's because they just haven't organized themselves properly. So a space like this that we're in right now, this is the loft space. Often these spaces are just wasted, they're not utilized, and this will turn out to be a fantastic spacious room with great views as well out here as well.
So on the top floor here, we're adding effectively 40 square meters, so that'll be split within 2 rooms, both with en suites, little kitchenettes in here. We're facing the back side, so you have the full back dormer and L-shaped dormer actually, because you've got quite a bit of extra space being built over here. And then at the front, we're going to have the roof again taken out and have a smaller front dormer built. And all of that has been reconfigured beforehand. You know, we have maximized, we have really good head height here because we have dropped the floors down a little bit as well. So all the elevations have changed slightly in the buildings.
So what we'll do, we'll head over to a property that's further progressed, nearer finished, and we'll have a look at that there. But just before we do that, if you want to get the checklist, the 49-step checklist that we follow whenever we're starting a project, we'll put a link on the screen and also in the description as well, so you can download that from there. Yeah. So let's head on over to the other side.
Nice one. See you in a bit, guys.
This property is not that far from where we were previously. This one's an 8-bedroom HMO. It's got 8 bathrooms and 3 kitchens, slightly unusual layout, and also a shop underneath as well. So it's a much bigger property. This one will probably generate close to about £100,000 a year in terms of gross rent, whereas the other one is probably about £50,000 a year. And for many people, just one of these can be completely life-changing in terms of the income that you're generating. Let's talk us through what works has been done here on this particular one.
So I'd say it's quite an unconventional layout. Firstly, you've got the shop underneath. Planning has been approved for sui generis on this particular project. You've got 4 rooms above the commercial unit, all with en suites, good size. This room that we're in, you know, close to 18 square meters, thereabouts. You've got a small little kitchenette over here, which again, you know, nice little extra. You know, that's what people want these days, really, isn't it? A bit more
nice size ensuite.
Ensuite, you've got a good size kitchen here, and then there is a double-story back extension which has another 4 rooms, and those 4 rooms share 2 smaller kitchens in between. So they're almost like 2-bedroom flats, effectively. So planning here has been granted quite interestingly, really. But everything has been reconfigured, effectively, en suites added in here, layouts changed. Soundproofing had to be done between the commercial units, in between the rooms, being it a sui generis application. So a lot of work has gone through that.
And also because it's a slightly different layout and how this one's worked, even a sprinkler system has gone into this one as well. And a lot of these, as we keep emphasizing, that a lot of the work is done in the design stage. It's not when you get the keys and you start knocking about. It's all the planning and preparation beforehand is really what make these work in order to achieve the super high rents I'll be able to achieve for this type of property. You'll see from some of the footage the kind of quality and the finish, and that's what will allow you to create the highest rents that you can achieve for the property. I guess there's so many different types of HMOs that you can create. It could be student ones, it could be for those that are homeless, it could be asylum seeker ones, it could be support accommodation. There's many different types. We choose to be in the sector where there's professional tenants, high earners, where we find it easier to manage and we get the best rents as well. And it's really a cookie cutter.
And look at other houses, like it's easy to work with. All of our systems and the team is geared up to work with professionals. Most of them grad students coming to Birmingham, so good quality tenants really.
So the systems and processes is one thing, but also there's a lot of tech that goes into these properties as well. So talk us through, for example, some of the things you typically put into these properties.
Well, in fact, in all of our properties, we would generally have a look at having smart Wi-Fi systems, so mesh grade systems. You've got good quality CCTV for security. Other elements will be Inspire thermostats or Tado thermostats, depending on the property. So in this particular project, we have Inspire thermostats, and we have 3 boilers in the house. So we've got one for this one, then the other 2-bed flats, effectively, as we said.
It's probably a 4th one down as well. I'm not
for the shop. Yeah, the shop would have one as well. Some houses we go for digital locks, depending on demographic, the location. So it depends on the tech, sometimes what's chosen where.
And all of these things are really designed to make the whole thing run smoothly and a smooth operation. As I said, the checklist that we'll share with you, the 49-point checklist that we have, we'll put it on the screen as well, and also link it in the description below so you can get that. They'll give you a little bit of a guide. There's a few different ways that we can help you if you're looking to do this. One is we can show you how to do this so you can do it yourself. Aidas and I run some training programs around setting up these houses. We show exactly how we do them, literally the blueprints, how we set them up, how we find them, how we configure them, how we do all the planning challenges as well. Like, for example, this property had full planning, where the other one we went to earlier was just under permitted development. So there's different ways that you can set these up. That's kind of one way. The second way is through hand holding you through the process. Really, it's like mentoring. And the third way is, you can invest with us in the projects that we're doing if that's something you want to do. So let's show you a little bit more of the property first of all.
Hey, let us know one thing you like about these projects and one thing you would do differently. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and if you want to see other projects that we've done as well, we'll link those here for you. We'll see you on one of those videos next.
See you soon.